Technology is messing with this morning. I don't know what it is. Over and over again. There we go. So next week we got our event. So remember, we're not going to be in here. We're going to be everyone's going to be in the auditorium together with Brett Harrop. And again, remember we're starting on Friday. You can be there. Friday our session's at 7, and then 3 Saturday sessions at 10, 6, and 7:15. And you'll see that slide up with the details later. I'm sure you've seen it before. We've got flyers out in the foyer as well. And then, but again, Sunday the adult class is going to be in the auditorium. So just want to make sure that we remember that. And for anybody who comes in late, we might remind them too. If you help me. So we've been talking about singing in harmony here lately, and we're going to start talking about our tempo pitch dynamics, and after we come back from the Brett Harrop meeting, we'll finish off our pitch and dynamics section of that, but throw in tempo and the importance of tempo a little bit today as we kind of finalize our singing in harmony parts. We've been singing some songs that are quite challenging, that don't sound like they should be harmonious, right? We're singing different parts, we're singing different notes, yet if we do it right, it comes together and it sounds all kinds of pretty. That's what we're shooting for. So, and the most important part, hopefully we edify God through it. So we talked about if we don't know the notes and we don't know, I see this note, I don't know where to sing, sometimes the interval training is a little bit nice to do. So as we did last week, if you weren't here last week, you might be a little unfamiliar to this, but we're going to do some little warm-up interval training as we go, using our solemnization patterns, our do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. If you have no idea, but maybe you've seen Sound of Music, same little scale there. So we're going to use our board here, and we got our keyboard up and running.
Yep.
Ready to go.
Yes, sir.
So we'll keep it easy, and we'll keep that key of C. So our C's are do, right? So that's where we're at right there. Do, do. There we go. And we'll do our tonalization. Yeah, I got it right that time. So we're going to hit our first, our third, our fifth, our third, our first, our seventh, and then back to our first. So one more time, Drew, just so we're there. I didn't necessarily. Do, everybody. Do, mi, sol, mi, do, ti, do. Good. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Do, mi, do. Good. Re, fa, re, mi, sol, mi, fa, la, fa, sol, ti, sol, la, do, la, do, do. Gonna check us through? Pretty good. Pretty good. Ready? Do, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
Not yet? Ready? Check us through. La, ti, do. Every time we hit it, we're singing it right? Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re. Oops, I'm sorry, I messed that up. Try it again. Do, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Ah, messed that up. And that's why you practice.
Can I offer a thought too?
Yes.
This 1, 3, 5, right? This is 5, 4.
Yep.
So 1, 4, and 5 are the chords, are the basic chords of almost every song. You've got this. That's da, so, da. Right? And you hear bass guitars in there. Boom, 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 right? You hear that sound. do, so, fa. That's 1, 5, 4, 5, 1, 5, 4. Do, so, fa, so, do, so, fa. So that interval right there is very, 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 very common.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guarantee you, every hymn we'll sing today will have that in it somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then the other thing, kind of to mention here is we still have our whole step, and then from here to here is our half step. So you might hear that. So if we go to our do again, do, re, mi, fa. That mi, fa sounds a little different, right? Fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? You hear that half step? Yep. And then our tonalization, that's where what Drew's talking about, our do, mi, sol, mi, do, ti, do. Yep, you hear that chord within our progression there, right? Good, you're good. Yep. Here, in an effort to save us, we were trying to throw a song in here. We'll do an easy one. Ready? You guys got this one. Ready? Let's start. Go back to here, do. Give us our do. Do, right? Mi, do, mi, re, do, re, mi, so, mi, re, do, re, do. Perfect! What song?
Mary had a little lamb.
Mary had a little lamb. The other one that we filled out that was my fault was
Carrie was able to figure out.
Oh, I did it.
what was it?
It was
Joy to the World, yeah. But I messed it up.
But David does it all the time.
I messed it up.
I kinda cheated.
Oh, yeah. So last week we did Lord Be There, right? We broke up into our vocal groups. We learned Lord Be There, and we talked about if we can harmonize in Lord Be There, we're singing different parts, different notes, and make that sound good, then when we're singing, all singing the same words, and some of the same notes, right? That'll come together a little bit nicer. So it was a little bit of a challenge to go with Lord Be There, and David took that challenge and he ran with it because he's singing Lord Be There today in service.
Depending on all of you.
Huh?
And I'm depending on all of you.
Yes. So I figured maybe we can help him out. That'd be another good warm-up to get into our harmonization before we get to our homework, which we'll see if we did. And so we're going to have David come up, and I figured that would be good for us to warm up. But we'll go ahead and sit with our groups, and I'm trying to remember where we all sat. The basses were here.
Basses up here.
So if you're a bass, you can head this way. Who's over here? Sopranos. And then we had our altos, right? Basses and tenors. So if you excuse me, George. Yep. So if you have a part you prefer to sing, go to those spots, and I'm gonna fill in. So we got basses, tenors, sopranos. Sopranos might need some help. There we go. Some people are joining Linda there. Altos. We got a few altos. Got a couple of.
I can do either one.
Okay.
If I start screeching, I'll move back.
That's why you're in the middle.
Yeah, I'll sit here.
I'll help the.
Lincoln's vocally challenged.
Carrie, can you get the
Tenors out over here.
Slow in here.
Oh, okay.
Come on in, take a seat in your spot with your group.
Oh, again, short.
Give me a quick word.
Just a little sick or something, so you guys are
I
gonna.
figured you might appreciate that. Hopefully it goes better than Wednesday.
I'm just gonna maybe even try and ignore it.
Matter of fact, let me make sure it works. There we go. Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's working. Cool.
Now you want to give them the note through there?
Alright, so sopranos, and we got the tenors going to be coming in, and the altos, and then the basses. I'm going to go soprano, and then the tenor, and then the alto, and then I'm going to go back to the tenor. That's what I learned on Wednesday, just to help keep the tempo of it. So, yeah, it's practice for me, probably even more so than it is for you. So, if you don't know your part, just jump in somewhere. And like Brian said, it's about praising God more than anything else. So, let's sing. Lord, be there for me when I fall. Be there for me when I call. Be there for me, dear Lord. Lord, you know Yeah.
Way off.
So let's talk about it. I mean, I don't know what. Because I mean, so what did you see? What did you recognize?
We got way off key. We were way off key. That's what we should. We were like down here somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I noticed that we were going flat.
I went like 4 steps.
Yeah.
I have some thoughts about why that happened.
No, please.
So, my 2 cents. Just if I were leading this, I would lead the melody.
You stay with the soprano.
Stay with the soprano. Because that'll help. We're going to sing to them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The other parts are going to lock into them.
Okay.
And I think when you try and switch around, that's very
It's tough.
hard.
Yeah, I've been.
Especially on a song like this, which is the Greatest Commandments is easier to do than this. This is harder. It is.
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend to stick with the lead on this. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would also suggest if you're going to do that, queuing up our altos, because we do have that rest, and we're going to talk about this.
Right.
We do have that rest, so just so they don't come in the same time as you, since you're not leading that, you might give them a little.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, I was recognizing that is going to be something that we can talk about a little bit later on. In the
that's coming up. I'm glad that I'm. Sorry, David, but I'm glad this happened because this leads into what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. And the one thing that I would just kind of ask in a follow-up question to you, Drew, and anybody else can chime in, is that on Wednesday it seemed like, and maybe just because we listened to the Praise and Harmony version, which is slower than what I like to lead it, but it seemed like whenever I wasn't with the tenors were very slow. And whenever you're transitioning back to the beginning, it's like the tenors are the ones that initiate that. So go to the next slide.
They're the downbeat.
Lord, you'll be there, and then that's what initiates everybody else getting back in. So if the tenors aren't staying on beat with the directing, which is again what we're going to talk about here in a second, then all of a sudden we can have.
I was going to blame somebody else because I thought one of the girls' parts was off.
It was the soprano part. If you don't start it like right then, like it can slow it down too.
There was, I'm sorry.
I was honestly thinking it kind of sounded like the sopranos were a little bit fast, I think. But of course, I'm on the other side of the room, so.
There was like an eighth of a beat, a half of a beat inserted in there when there shouldn't have been. That's
where
when we were doing it just a soprano. We'll have to look back on the tape, but it's Lord, be there for me when I fall. Be there for me when I fall. Be there for me, dear Lord. That's the beat. What was happening, and you can't get that until the tenors come in. But if you don't lead it like that, it's Lord, be there for me when I fall. Be there for me when we're holding it to her. Yeah, we're holding it.
Which that is again how the Praise and Harmony track does it. They hold it a little bit longer.
I mean, I can throw a metronome on, you'll hear that.
You're holding one longer because it's a different note, but we don't want to hold it too long.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're adding either a 16th or an 8th note in there.
Lord, be there for me when.
That's what I mean. It's 1, 2, be there for me, or a 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and a 1, 2, and then 4, and a 1.
Yeah.
You say if you don't do that, it's going to feel like
You want to leave it there?
I don't know. You're class, man.
This is a class. we learn in class, right?
What might help is have a metronome on it.
Yeah.
That might help.
Yeah.
Do that. Can we do that soprano part a little bit slower at their pace that they're going to do it in, so they can hear it?
Lord, be there for me when I fall. Be there for me when I call. Be there for me, dear Lord.
Yeah.
Lord,
you Yes. They're ready. Yeah, they're ready to go.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah. And then, do you want to?
When you're delaying, it's still there.
It is a slight delay. Lord, be there for me when I fall. Be there for me when I call. Be there for me, dear Lord.
Yeah, there's some upbeat stuff happening
there.
The me and the wind have the same length.
Yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not when we're singing it. Put a little on.
Yeah. Lord, be there for me when I fall. The me and when do. It's just really quick.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, that's good.
And we're sticking either on the me or the when. One of the
Yeah, it's
two.
the way. Whatever.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation about this part.
Yep.
Carrie and I, and because the teens sing it without that hold that Praise and Harmony has in their track. And so it was actually, I'm having to relearn it, and now I'm trying to forget what I've learned to get back to how the teens always sing it. So, alright.
So you're going to stick with the sopranos?
Yeah.
So
I'll stick with sopranos, see if that
okay,
goes
so
better.
then altos, this actually is what we're going to talk about today. And we were actually going to, sorry, I forgot that was on the same slideshow. We were actually going to do this
Let's say, do you want
with
to do
a
this
difference.
again?
We were going to do this with our homework,
Yep.
and it was going to flop because it gets worse than this. So what we're talking about today is the importance of directing.
Right.
So to help our altos out, can you go ahead and throw our 4-beat directing pattern in there so the altos see when they come in?
Yeah, go ahead and go to the alto.
Well, you want to go ahead and see? Go ahead and sing it from her, or sing it from her.
Lord, be there for me when I fall. Be there for me when I call. Be there for me, dear Lord.
3, 4.
Lord, you are always near, and I know that, Lord, you'll be there. Lord, be there.
Right there. Right there. Yep. Right there. Altos. You see what we did?
So it's at
Yep.
beat
Yep.
2 is whenever we're going to be coming in with the altos because we have this rest.
You say rest too.
There you go. So it's Lord, be there for me.
So we're all singing.
Boom, Lord, be
Yep. So this is your key right there. Boom.
soprano, tenor, alto.
Yep. Does that make sense? If you stick with the sopranos, that's your guys' cue, and everybody else should be okay because everybody's coming in on the downbeat. And we're going to talk about that today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't.
No, we're good. We're good. This is good.
Okay.
Yep.
Lord, be there for me when I fall. Be there for me when I call. Be there for me, dear Lord. Lord, you there for me when I fall. Be there for me when I call. Be there for me, dear Lord. You'll be there. Lord, you'll be there for me when I call. Be there for me when I call. Be there for me, dear Lord. You'll be there. Lord, you'll be there for me when I call. Be there for me when I call. Be there for me, dear Lord. You'll be there. Lord, you'll be there for me when I call. Be there for me when I call. Be there for me, dear Lord. You'll be there, Lord. Still a little fast,
Still back.
but not
better.
anywhere near where
Yeah.
we were
A
before.
lot better. Yeah, that was actually. I mean, I would say most hymns end like that.
Yeah,
Every
every congregation goes flat.
Especially when we get all different parts.
Yeah, that was actually
yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah, that's a tough
I
challenge.
felt like you were on.
Yes, and the part we're talking about today is our timing was on that time,
Right.
Yeah.
which we were all over the place the last time.
No.
So
I appreciate the feedback, everybody.
Yes,
This is good.
yes, that's why we practice. So what's nice about that is it worked out real nice because what we were going to do was our homework. He is wonderful, and I was going to be a little bit mean, and I was going to just go alto, go. Soprano, go. Tenor, go. Basses, go. And as you can tell, I don't know again why my music is coming up. If you look at that carefully, that's even worse than what we just did because notice our sopranos is coming in after this rest. So they're really at the start of the measure. Ever see that? My altos are coming in earlier than the measure starts. My tenors have a rest into that measure, And the basses are kind of in line with the altos there, starting earlier than the measure. So more complex timing-wise. Everybody agree with that? So needless to say, it probably wouldn't have gone well if we weren't all on the same page there. And the importance of directing as we do that. So as we talked about already with Lord Be There, is how important timing is and being all on the same page. And we've all probably experienced this in some form or fashion when a song leader goes up and he's just singing and we don't have any guidance. Or even worse, if they're a song leader and they're a quiet, soft-spoken song leader, what tends to happen? The congregation leads it?
Well, worse than that, sometimes when I notice when you don't have your microphones or the sound is down, if people can't hear the leader, everybody's going different directions.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we're off, we're singing different parts, different times. Yep.
The timing is all off.
Timing's off. Yep.
The melody, the tone's off.
And you pretty much can guarantee if you have a soft-spoken song leader who's not doing some kind of direction, what's going to happen by the end of the song? Other than anarchy, it starts to drag, right?
Yeah.
It starts to drag, right? It starts to drag, and we tend to go flat. Yeah. What's a fun? In fact, we're gonna sing it later. What's a nice upbeat song that we tend to go flat on? Come we that love the Lord and let our joys be known. Join in a song with sweet accord. Join in a song with sweet accord. You know, you've sung that, right? And then, yeah. Let those refuse to sing. Well, I'm refusing to sing because we've gone so slow, and it sounds like we're at a funeral, right? You've been there, yes. And it takes the joy out of that song.
Victory in Jesus.
Or others. Victory in Jesus. Yeah, same thing. It tends to go slow. So we need some kind of consistent, reliable leader to keep the tempo and keep the song where it's supposed to be and keep people together, especially if we're going to try and sing in harmony. So we can't have one voice if we're singing at different times unless we're supposed to, as we're talking about, and He is wonderful. If the song leader doesn't set the tempo, he's letting the congregation take it wherever they want. And it's usually the loudest person in the congregation. Or if there's not a loudest person in the congregation, then it's kind of like a traffic signal rule here, right? I'm on the very back of the line, I see the signal turn green, and everybody's like, go, it's green, it's green. Theoretically, if everybody saw it's green and we take our foot off the brake, we should be okay, right? But their reaction time, and their reaction time, and their reaction time, and their reaction time builds up, right? So I think that kind of same thing in our congregational singing is I'm hearing it, I'm reacting to it, and then I'm singing it. There's a little bit of delay time. So if somebody's not keeping us where we're going to be, it's going to slow, just like traffic, right? Just like traffic and signal. So when directed right, we can see the time signature down to every single measure. So we're going to do a little practice on this, and this is one of my favorite activities that we did at WLI. This is actually a Worship Leader Institute activity that we did, and I think it's hugely important for song leaders, anybody who's going to be any kind of song, do any song leader, but I think it's important for everybody. It's important to see if somebody's doing sign language, and I don't know sign language, I have no idea what's going on. Alyssa the other day I was trying to help out and Elena, blanked her name. Elena was being a little bit squirrely as kids do, and I was trying to, I saw her signing. I had no idea what it means, and I'm like, how do you say "be nice"? Right? And she's like, "Nice, nice." I'm like, and real simple, right? If I look at sign and I have no idea what that looks like, I don't know what that communication looks like until I see somebody do it, or I learn it myself. Then I can follow. Kind of the same thing with directing. If you may never lead a song in your life, but if you understand what the song leader is doing and why they're doing it, then we theoretically should be able to follow it. So that being said, everybody's going to get involved in this, and you may never lead a song. Ladies, this is where we have some tendency sometimes to not want to be involved in this because it's like, oh, why would I refuse? I hear from the ladies, we go and sing during ladies' retreats, and we get there and the singing's not great. Well, why? Because we don't train our ladies to lead anything. But what about these ladies' retreats that we go to? What about our young gentlemen who are doing our Wednesday night services? We were just there for Area Wide last night, right? Some of us, how many people directed in some form or fashion? Even if it was like a signature move, I don't know what that one, I didn't follow that one, but We had karate chop action guy, right? That's okay. They kept us together. They kept us together. But for the guys who didn't do any directing, there's times I'm trying to follow and I'm kind of trying to make my own. Okay, where's this go? It shouldn't be a guessing game. That's the whole purpose up there is you keep us together. So we're gonna stand up and we're gonna make a U around the room here. And again, we're gonna practice this to get a better feel. I love kinesthetic activities. I love getting involved. I love the moving and the feeling for this. We're not going to perfect this. We're not necessarily training song leaders right now. We're just getting a feel for what these songs essentially feel like. What do they feel like? Can I feel the beat? Drew did a great job talking about our beat patterns and whatnot. Can I feel the beat here? Can I see what this is supposed to look like? So we're going to keep you a little bit away from the camera there, unless you really want to be picked up.
No,
Okay.
I can't do it.
Don't have to necessarily be in your singing groups. If you guys have a hard time with, you struggle with, one of these things, right? You don't feel like your left and right hand are connected. You don't have to do the singing and the directing at the same time, but feel free if you can to definitely jump in. So we're going to start fairly simple. We're going to go karate chop action guy in a manner. So sometimes we have these songs that maybe like in a 3/4 pattern that are really, really quick, and I don't want to look like a Flappy Bird. David's going to do one today, matter of fact. God's family, right? We're part of God's family. If he did that one in a 3/4 pattern, we're part of the family. His arm's going to fall off at the end of the song. So what he's going to do, I imagine, is he's going to slow that down and he's going to do a 1-beat pattern. So it's helpful if you don't know these more advanced beats. You can always kind of relate back to this. So 1-beat pattern. Draw yourself a little picture here. Draw yourself a little window that is comfortable for you. So about where, at your waistline, about where your belt is, and then kind of on each side of your body, and then up about head height. So that's where you're going to be in your directing window there. Okay. Your 1-beat pattern is like hitting a nail with a small hammer. So we're just going to right on that. Think of your workbench here. Right on your workbench, you're just hitting here. 1 and 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And we want a little tap, because we want to see that beat. Where's the beat? Boom. I don't want to, sometimes I get accused of like painting the fence. We don't want this, not sway, because do you see my beat? There's no beat there, right? Tap it. Tap it. Tap it. Tap it. Good. When upon life's billows you are tempest tossed, when you are discouraged thinking all is lost, capture many blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord hath done. Count your blessings, name them one by one, count your blessings, see what God hath done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. See, we do something a little bit different to that one. You notice we tend to add another measure there sometimes. Yeah. Have you noticed that? We tend to add another measure. That's one big measure. We do slow it down, right? But that's one. Name them one by one. Right, we're slow it down. Let's name them one by one. And we're going to deal with this, some of this stuff next week. And our pitch is off too, which that's okay because we're looking at them. And count your many blessings, see what God hath done. So we're looking at that music. You notice after every measure, there's our downbeat, right?
Yeah.
You notice
Every line that you see is the downbeat. So, because we were off, we had some people who were going like this. So, just wondering.
Count your many blessings, one by one. Right. That's the start of the chorus, right?
That are bouncing up and down on her nail.
Right.
Yep. I don't know why that's.
But I was following him.
Yes.
And he was doing it wrong. Blame it on him.
What did I do wrong?
Yes.
Yeah, what did I do wrong? What did I do?
You were just
well, just in the same way that you guys were giving me some honest and helpful feedback, we want to be receptive to that.
My measures disappeared. But yeah, I don't know what's going on.
No wonder we're flat. There's no lines.
Yeah. You get the general idea. If you need to, you can always go back to that. You're just finding every measure, right? Every measure. That's where we're going now.
We're not going to you. We're just doing one.
Boom. Okay. So what's remember what another one? Wonderful, merciful Savior, precious Redeemer and friend. Right, you can feel it nice and slow. We don't want to be. Yeah, we're not going to get fancy there. Just finding that. Rescue the souls of men. Oh, you rescue the souls of men. Get a feel for that? Okay. So now we're going to go to a 2-beat pattern. So we're still hitting the plane, but now we're going to kick it out to the side, almost like a J, but we don't want to round it out, almost like a reverse check mark. Like a reverse check mark. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Hit it here, come back, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Come we that love the Lord, and let our joys be known. Join in a song with sweet accord. Join in a song with sweet accord. And thus around the throne, and thus around the throne. We're marching to Zion. Beautiful, beautiful Zion, we're marching upward to Zion, the beautiful city of God. Good, you feel it? And we did that kind of slow to start. We talked about that. We drained it, right? Made it feel like a dirge, right? And so we picked it up there at the end, what it's supposed to sound like. So we started slow to get it down. But yeah, we probably want that a little bit faster, right? But if I do that any quicker, I don't want to do a 6/8 pattern. That's going to be way too much. Some of you guys are like, my arms are already tired. We definitely don't want to do that. So we'll probably pick that up a little bit, right? Come we that love the Lord, and let our joys be known. Join in a song with sweet accord. Join in a song with sweet accord. And thus around the throne, and thus around the throne. We're marching to Zion, beautiful, beautiful Zion. We're marching upward to Zion, the beautiful city of God. Good, you feel it? You almost feel like you want to march with that? There's your 2-beat pattern. We're marching to Zion. Okay, so a 3-beat pattern, you're going to still see our 1, and you're going to still see our 2, but we're throwing a 3 in there. So we got 1, those are our waltzes. Our 2s are away from the body, so I hear 1, 2, and then our 3 is just to the right of our 1. So 1, 2, 3. Back up.
So 1 is like right at the belly button?
Right at the belly. That's where our 1 is.
Don't come over here.
Yep. Like we were doing before, our 1-beat pattern. 1, kick it out 2, and then right here next to it 3, and then back up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved from a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. 2, 3, 1, 2. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. 1, 2. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. 1. Good. And right there on 3. Yeah. Good. We got some people that are qualified, ready to go to WI. Yes. What did you say?
No, 1, not on 3.
No, we finished it out. The hour I first believed. 1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah, we kind of did an extra measure in there, yeah. But we would close it out once we get to it's well trained, yes. But yeah.
Yeah, your half notes you're holding for 2 measures.
Yeah, that's not uncommon for song leaders to do that. You know, it's like letting that you're talking about the end, the believed, the end.
At the end of both times, the end of the previous screen and end of this one too.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't notice it in the verse, but that's very common at the end of a chorus to let it.
To split.
You know, it's like it's almost like the congregation a lot of times doesn't want to jump right back. Like if you did it like it's written.
We've got another verse after this.
Yeah,
like, we're ending it here.
All I first believed when it's like nobody's going to be ready for that.
Yep. We're throwing an extra measure in there to help close the song out.
Yeah, well, to help close the verse out. Like you know, if you just went straight to the next verse, people aren't ready for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Close the song in this case, but close the verse in the future.
Yeah.
Yep. Good. 4-beat pattern, very, very common. So we're still going to see the same spots. We got our 1. Okay. But now we're going to go across the body. So 1.
Belly button.
Yep, go to your belly button. 2, next to that.
To the left.
Kick out, like we had before.
Cross your
3. And then 4, right next to our middle again. So you're going to see these same 3 spots, 1, 2, 3, but we're adding across the body for our second beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same 3 spots on this side. 1 new spot on the left-hand side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Father, we love you, we worship and adore you. Glorify thy name in all the earth. Glorify thy name. Glorify thy name. Glorify thy name in all the earth. Jesus, we love you, we worship and adore you. Glorify thy name in all the earth. Glorify thy name. Glorify thy name. Glorify thy name in all the earth. You just love that. Probably better than 90% of song leaders, right? Because they always rush that.
Yeah.
Right.
There's the opposite of what Jim was talking about.
The opposite.
How many times have you seen it where that songwriters cut the verse, cut the 2 measures short? How great their art's bad for that. This song's bad for that.
They get awkward, I think, in that. Oh, we gotta start it. We gotta start it. Great job. You stuck it. You stuck with the measure. You stuck with the beat pattern. Great job. Great job.
And the songwriter's got to stick with it too.
Right.
Songwriter's got to give me 8 beats there, man. It's like if you don't give me 8 beats, you're chicken out at 6.
The whole point of this, remember, I mean, if you're up there leading a song, then great. Hopefully that's helpful. But if you're in the congregation, you're trying to understand what the song leader is doing here.
When do I come back in? Yep.
Yeah.
When do I come back in? When's my work?
Well,
Because if you come back in early, then that also throws us off.
I think George was right. You're running out of air.
Yep.
And you're trying to catch a little
So,
breath in there.
I've led the song 100 times, and I've learned, take that big breath.
Yep.
And don't take a breath where you normally would, because you won't have it for earth.
Yep.
Right? If you take a breath where you normally would, you're going to be out of gas.
Yep.
So you got to take that breath like, you got to find the right spot, take that breath, so you have it for 8 beats.
So I was going to cut us off there, but we're behind on time. Sorry, Jim, I'm going to skip you for a second. David's actually going to do a 6-beat pattern today, and I want you to see it. So we're going to throw this in real fast. 6-beat pattern. We still got our 1. We got 2. We're going to go to the left. 3.
More to the left.
Yep, more to the left. So we got 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to jump all the way back across like our kick out. 4.
And then kick out. Farther. 5.
Sorry.
Why don't they
4.
shoot 3 twice?
5. This is tricky. 6. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kick. 5. 6 back by your 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that old cross where the dearest ran fast. For the world of lost sinners was slain. 3, 4, 5. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross. 2, 3, 4, 5. Till my trophies at last I lay down. 5. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, very nice. So now the pressure's on him because now he's got to do it. He's going to, for the very first song, watch him.
Yep.
Along with everything else, along with making eye contact and directing, make sure his pitch is right and all that good stuff. Make sure he sings the right words. We're gonna see how he does with directing that. So
give me the critique.
Yes, give us the critique. So now you know what we're doing and what we're expecting in the conversation, and where we're all together. So I hope that you found that helpful. I hope that was kind of fun. Young song leaders, maybe this would be. I wish I knew this stuff a long time ago. That is class. So we're gonna break it out. Thank you guys. Remember next week, go to the auditorium, and then as you're doing He Is Wonderful, because we didn't do it today, now you know when to come in, so you can practice it. You know when to come in on your 4-year pattern. Good. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Sorry I kept you a little bit late.
Thanks, Brian.